Renny, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
You too. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. Chapter two is very interesting because we know we're gonna get three of these films, right? We're gonna get chapter one, two, and three. And the first one is kind of that setup, right? Like we're kind of going back and everything. We know that the third is gonna be the conclusion, whatever, how that's gonna wrap up. So two is really kind of the characters in the thick of it, right? And kind of this game of cat and mouse. Is there a specific kind of mindset when you shot chapter two compared to one and three, given what I just said about the kind of tension and the cat and mouse chase?
Absolutely, absolutely. You hit it right on the head. And the risk with chapter twos is usually that it could be the weakest link because you have the setup and then you have the payoff and everybody's concentrating on that, and then you just have the journey there, and easily it's sort of lacking. But I think in our case it started almost like as my favorite chapter because I get to uh, get out of the house, get out of the home invasion, and get out of the remake and go into my own story. And uh, for me, like I love movies that take place in like tough conditions, and like in
Yeah.
my movies, like Cliffhanger or Deep Blue Sea, you go to the real environment and you deal with it. And so for me, the wilderness and the town and all the surrounding areas, they really lend a character to the whole movie, and I'm able to do big sequences that are not relying on dialogue and information, but are purely visual and visceral, very raw experiences, and really get to take the actor, the protagonist, through hellish survival situations,
Mhm.
and explore her mental and physical state, and then explore the antagonist as well. So I of course now I've already seen the third chapter as well, and
Mhm.
I it's so out there. It's still grounded, and it's still based on the same kind of a paranoia and tension,
Yeah.
but it is so wild that I don't know anymore which one of the episodes is my favorite. But I really personally I like to, just because it's has this kind of a Rambo type of a survival story.
Well, very quickly, we didn't have a chance to talk for chapter one, but that sequence when they're eating the burgers and the ketchup and then the blood up there is like one of my favorite sequences. Like that was one of my favorite things ever. I just wanted to say I
Great.
love that shot. That was I like conversation starters, right? With film, you know what I mean? You got the dinner table, you talk about like memorable scenes. I mean, it's like that with Deep Blue Sea, Cliffhanger, Die Hard 2. It's just rent free in your head, which is amazing.
I love
Um,
it. Thank
I
you.
wanted to kind of ask you because I feel like when you signed on to do this trilogy, I feel like there's familiar territory and unfamiliar territory at the same time because we know about the original Strangers film and like that world, but then this is kind of like going back and at origin story. So like we know what's going on and we don't know what's going on at the same time. Do you think about that at all when you sign on for this project? I find that interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it was a real challenge, and going going to remake a classic like that everybody loves and I love and admire. It was tough, and it was frustrating because I knew that it's a no-win situation, but
Yeah.
we had to do the setup. We couldn't say, "Oh, we're gonna continue from where the original film left off." Like, what are you gonna bring Liv Tyler back after 16 years and pretend that it's next day?
Hmm.
So it's just impossible. So we wanted to, the movie is called The Strangers. We wanted to honor the original film and do that movie with new actors,
Yeah.
and but then we had the opportunity to go from there to start developing our own thing. So a lot of planning and thinking went into it, and like how do we do that setup without it feeling like it's a copy of the original,
Hmm.
and how do we still honor those key pillars of it so that it makes sense that it's called The Strangers.
Well, it's interesting because I'm a filmmaker as well. I've done some stuff in in horror as well, some short films as well. But I find it interesting because there's a difference, right, Renny, between like for horror movie fans, like your favorite horror movie and the scariest horror movie you've ever seen. There's big difference between the two. The original Strangers, and I've seen a lot. I'm a big horror movie guy. Is the scariest horror movie I've ever seen in my life. Like nothing comes close to that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's just even in these films, the masks, like it's nightmare fuel forever. You know what I mean? So what was that like kind of seeing those masks? Did people get scared just seeing the masks on set?
Yeah, the masks were a big deal. And just on a practical level, you don't think about it, but okay, that movie was made 16 years ago, and now we want to basically make the same masks. How are we going to make them? Do they exist somewhere? Can we just like go get them? Which is a no. And then how do we make them similar, and do we want to make them exactly similar, or do we want to make them a little bit different? We had this long ass conversations about this, and it was kind of like, in the end, I said to everybody, like, stop talking. This is not like Batman, where you make the next Batman and you say like, okay, let's make the outfit a little cooler and the mask a little different and more muscular, or more matte painted or more shiny. This is not that. It's the Strangers, and we should stick to what it is. Nobody expects the Strangers 2.0, the more whatever futuristic mask. It's not about that. It should be exactly what it was. So that's what we based it on, and then we had to figure out how the hell do we make these, which was a complicated process, and also we discovered that we had to kind of make them fit the actors' bone structure and everything, and the casting of the Strangers became very crucial, because you can't just say like, let's just grab some stunt guy, it doesn't matter. When you have, as a character, when you have a mask on, acting becomes much more challenging than a normal situation. Yet these are characters, these are not just lumbering stunt guys. So it was a combination of finding the right actors with the right bone structure, and making the masks right, so that the iconic feeling is there.
Absolutely. I can't wait for people to see The Strangers Chapter 2 in theaters. Renny, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, Petey, thank you so much. Really,
Appreciate
really
it.
enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.